Sup, man?
What's up?
Psychos and sickos unite for a full house edition of PHNX Suns, of course, brought to you by our friends over at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app, use code PHNX365, deposit 10, place a bet for 5 and get $150 in bonus bets. I'm Eric, we've got Steven, we've got Espo, the freckled mamba behind the Mac, making all the magic happen. And join us in welcoming, for the first of course, many times, our newest member of PHNX Suns, Gil McGregor. Gil, we are so happy to have you on. We're going to get to know you a little bit today, dive into Dillon Brooks' game and your thoughts on the Sun season so far. So everybody hit that like button for Gil, hit that subscribe button for Gil as well. First things first, hi.
What's up, man?
How's it going, man?
Great, going great. I love calling this home now. Love being here. Ready to get started. I'm good.
I think we need to give him a BCom, see clearly, clap.
Clap.
Everybody clap.
You'll learn.
Okay.
You'll know.
Learning on the fly here, you know?
We're glad to have you, though. Excited to have you. We've talked over the last couple of weeks. I've gotten a chance to know you, and I think the fans are going to love what you bring to the table and your basketball experience. And I can't wait to be caught in between you and Steven and your serious basketball breakdowns where I can make some dumb jokes. So it's going to be good. I told you we'd get you somebody to talk actual basketball with.
Yes, that's very true. No claps from over here because that is just not me, as y'all know. But I will say a round of applause for him getting here today and locking in with us. Chat is gonna enjoy him. Looking forward to seeing where it all takes us, but we got some fun to get to. So
Gil, who are you? Give the people just a brief introduction. Obviously, we got a couple people in the chat who are obviously big fans. Says nobody, and I mean nobody, knows more ball than Gil. That's from Corey. Cameron says, haven't seen Gil smile this hard in months. But for those who are unfamiliar with your game, what's going on in the life of Gil?
Oh, well, I'm Gil McGregor. If you said that already, though. I'm from Charlotte. Originally grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana. My dad was a commentator for the Hornets 25 years, so we followed the team. So I grew up around the NBA. It's really all I know. I also played basketball, played collegiately at Wake Forest University, Catawba College. I walked on at Wake 10 years ago, graduated 10 years ago, so that makes me feel old to say. But since then, past 7 years spent at Sporting News covering the NBA and things of that nature. So NBA is second nature for me. I also have a bunch of random Suns ties throughout my playing career and life, which makes this feel very connected for me. So,
what are those random Suns stories? Give them a little sprinkle.
Suns stories, Suns ties. It's funny enough, I was telling Eric before we got on here, I was a ball boy in New Orleans, and it just so turns out my last game as a ball boy was New Orleans Hornets Suns. Bunch of memories. I'm talking to Josh Childs about how he handles online haters, and then there's a memorable moment. Trevor Ariza, Robin Lopez are about to get into it. Robin Lopez is like, don't disrespect me, man. Just look at him side. I was like, you know what? You probably don't want to try him. So just turns out that my last time working in the NBA at that capacity was that. And now my first time doing this is covering the Suns again.
How old were you at that point?
17.
I was working for the team when he was the ball boy there. I probably was running social for that game. So, yeah, you'll learn. I'm the old man in the family here. So
we got a question in chat. Tej wants to know, what's your deepest, darkest secret?
Oh, we don't have enough time.
Oh, we got plenty of time. This is the only thing we're doing today. We're actually not talking Suns basketball at all.
Just a deep.
It's just getting to know your deepest and darkest secrets.
I don't know. Maybe I've secretly been a Suns fan my entire life. I don't know. But, there's that.
I mean, look, if you have been a Suns fan your whole life, then you're obviously you're loving this season. I feel like, what we need to do is talk a little basketball.
Absolutely.
Hold on. You are totally going to duck the question that Aiden
What question?
had in the chat. He says, Gil, how bad are you beating Eric in 1v1?
Probably pretty bad. Yeah, he's not Ben Garcia.
I haven't seen your game yet, though. I don't know. I got to get the scout first.
He's got a highlight reel you can watch.
I appreciate the kind words.
Gil. Respect all if you're not.
Look, I will say that I'm gonna lose that game, but I won't duck any smoke. I will play, and we can go from there. But I think all of us need to hoop, and let's get this out of the way. To the Phoenix Suns coaching staff, don't duck the Suns media anymore. Let's run it.
Mermies, I got you. You and I, we're gonna go mano a mano during that as well.
Steven, who are you guarding in the Suns versus media scrimmage?
I don't care who I'm guarding. I say that in respect to them, but also just in confidence in myself.
You want Damari Carroll, don't you?
I would love to get into it with Junkyard Dog. Shout out to Damari, yeah, 6'7" and 5'8 and a half on a good day. I'm getting after it though. I'm gonna win that first spot. I know that. What happens after that happens after that. But I'm gonna win the first spot.
Low man wins.
Hey, listen, that catch ain't gonna be on the block. It's gonna be in the mid post somewhere.
I can
work
tell
it
you,
out from there.
Low man doesn't always win. I can speak from experience. All right.
Oh my goodness. Look, until that does happen, and we'll give you the full scouting report on that, and maybe Gil and I will play one-on-one as I make my rounds playing media. Shane Young, stop ducking me. I think it's time, Gil. We just get into the Suns conversation from a big perspective. Obviously, you've been following along with this team over the season as we've been gearing up to have you over here. What's been your biggest takeaway from an 11-7 start to the season for the Suns?
I think the umbrella statement I can say is that expectations are a funny thing, right? Like coming into the season, I think that if you said 18 games in, this team would be 11-7, everybody would be pretty pleased with that, right? But I think that there have been some expectations based on what we've seen early on. Like last night, there was some disappointment with that, right? There have been some letdowns here and there. Some things have happened. So I think that this team has earned the right to have expectations about how well they're going to perform. I think that is a testament to Jordan Ott. That's a testament to the new guys who are here, the culture that's been talked about so much on the show as well. There's an expectation to win, to compete, to fight. And I think watching this team, it's been fun. And also, I expect them to hang around in every game. So now we're at this point, the 18-game mark. We're almost quarter way through the season. We now expect them to be around and fight and be a team that is going to be hanging around late in the season and probably expecting more than we did coming into the year.
From your experience in locker rooms over the years that you played, how important is it to have that camaraderie that they seem to have? Because it was not necessarily there the last few years. It seems to be there this year.
I think it's honestly arguably the most important thing, because if you like your teammates as people, you're willing to do things for them and kind of go all the way, run through the wall. I say it all the time, I run through the wall for this coach, run through the wall for this teammate. And I think that's a characteristic that we hear so much about the good teams, the successful teams. The two last teams we saw standing last year, they have that in their locker rooms as well. And we were talking about cultivating a culture and bringing things back to where you want them to be. Last year was a down year, but this year has been so much better because of that. It's been night and day. And I think that's a big thing. Talk about Dillon Brooks and adopting or anointing a villain junior. Those are those small little things. Seeing the post-game reaction, that interview after the comeback against Minnesota, those are the things you see winning teams do, and it's been fun to see, and I think it's fun for the fans to enjoy that too.
So you guys heard that. We got to get Gil to like us, and then things will go better. So
you guys are off to a good start.
Okay, we'll take it.
Gil, I'm curious for you, just on the leadership side, as we're talking about establishing the culture. One of the biggest things with leadership is being able to get that buy-in from guys, but they also have to be able to trust you to guide them with that part of it. And one of the topics of the show today is Dillon Brooks.
Right.
You talked about him almost anointing the villain junior to Colin Gillespie, though he kind of went and earned it as well. How are you seeing, just with so many new pieces around, a guy like Dillon bringing a certain type of edge that clearly translates to his day-to-day approach?
Yeah, I mean, we know Dillon Brooks is, right? And I think that's the thing that, everybody talks about it. You love to have a guy like that on your team, and you hate to go against him. And I think, as soon as you get to training camp, and I wasn't there, but I know you were kind of on the ground seeing those things. But when you have a teammate who's willing to go at you every single day and not care and act like you're their enemy in practice, the game should feel easy. And I think that as a veteran who he is, who's played for winning teams, that has been infectious in this locker room. And people will buy in because the credentials speak for itself. And he has that reputation where, other teams are annoyed by him, but it's the proof is in the pudding. I know we'll talk a lot more about like what he's done and the numbers that he's putting forth this season, but just being a culture builder or adding to culture, it speaks for itself with him.
Yeah, I got to say, this is on us. This should have been the first question that we asked. Is that you in the locker room? Is that you on the scouting report? Like, what's your game breakdown?
A connective guy. I think I got asked this question like my senior year of college, and I said, I'll just do whatever it takes to win. So I'll stick with that. I like to win. Winning's way more fun. My dad always says this. I know he's watching. Shout out to my dad. Shout out to Big Gil and Miss Frida. But there's winning and there's misery. And you know what? I want to win, and I don't want to be miserable,
Sounds like you and I are going to get along just
exactly.
fine.
You'll get to know misery pretty well here in Arizona with our sports teams. But
it hasn't been so far this year. And I think that when you break down the dogs and the villains, the connectiveness from a big picture perspective, obviously you look a lot of like what the players are doing. But from a coaching perspective, I think even beyond the player relation side of things, I think schematically how the Suns have been playing and how they've been running sets on offense or schemes on defense has been fresh and unique and lots of times adjusting in the middle of games. Do you feel like, Gil, that is kind of the baseline of what's been taking them over, or is it the emotional side of the game?
I think there's a fair share of both of them, right? But I do think that Jordan Knott deserves a lot of credit. We talked about him. We talked about this team. Like, to be a first-time head coach, and obviously he's been around a lot of locker rooms and he's earned respect at that level, but to be a new head coach in a new situation, and in a lot of ways needing to salvage some things, there's a lot of pressure that goes with that. And there's a lot of pressure that comes internally from your team because you have a group of guys where if you say the wrong thing or they don't believe in one thing, they might completely tune you out. And the fact that they're there at this point in the season shows that immediately he made the impression. Obviously, having the buy-in from your star player, the connections that are there, that helps a whole lot. But that speaks a lot to him. And I think that everything else kind of goes like a domino effect, right? The emotions, all that stuff kind of follows. But seeing what he's done and kind of galvanizing the team up to this point, that's a big credit to him.
Look, I am excited to hear, obviously, your takes, all of our takes as the Suns continue to go through this season. Obviously, this episode, we're going to focus a lot on Dillon Brooks. We're going to talk about, is he an all-star candidate? Steven's got some numbers that he was so excited to show us that he wouldn't let us look at them before the show.
Cards up, man. You can't see those.
We've got a lot of really fun stuff we're going to get into. And at the end of the show today, we will be doing a hoop grid as well, get into some fun as we continue here on a daytime edition of PHNX Suns. We're going to keep it rolling on the other side of our first break. Gil, you're new to the Valley. I got to introduce you to Circle K. Honestly, you've probably seen about 15 of them so far. They're on just about every corner, but do yourself a favor, download the Circle K app and join the Inner Circle. The best part is it's free. All you have to do is put in your phone number, put in your email, and you're instantly saving money. Not just on gas, which you get 25 cents off per gallon your first 5 fill-ups, 3 cents off per gallon every fill-up after that, but also on food and drinks and everything in between with Circle K. A 79-cent Polar Pop, which is a nice big soda, a 99-cent Froster, or you can get meal deals as well. A $3 meal deal is a hot dog or a chicken tornado, which is a chicken taquito, some chips and a Polar Pop on the side, all the way up to a $5 meal deal, which is 2 slices of pizza and any 20-ounce Coca-Cola or Pepsi product, or a 44-ounce Polar Pop. At the end of the day, Circle K is your go-to stop, whether you're new to the Valley or you've been around here for decades. Join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
You a hat guy, Gil? You wear hats?
I do. It seems like I need to. I'm the only one without one. So I have a lot of hats, actually. So,
Well, we're going to have to hook you up because our friends at Branded Bills have the best headwear and apparel. We got some custom PHNX hats. I got one for you back in the office that I'll give you after this because they are the best hats that you're going to get. They're local, made in Arizona over in Tempe, and high quality. They got custom headwear and apparel that they offer you. I'm a hat aficionado, doesn't do it. I'm addicted to hats. I think I'm close to 70 of them now in the closet at home, and most of them are becoming Branded Bills hats because they got fitted, snapbacks, truckers. They got bucket hats like our friend, the contact Steven over here, loves to rock. And they've got partnerships with over 40 college teams. I'm going to have to check if the Wake Forest Demon Deacons are on that list. They also partner with the Suns. So head over to brandedbills.com. Use that promo code BBPHNX. You're going to save 15%.
Look, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help us welcome Gil. Want to give a big shout out to our newest member, Gator Cat 3, thank you for becoming an MVP. You get
MVP.
MVP.
MVP. There we go.
MVP.
There we go. The worst part about those chants, just in general, is that I never know when to end. And I feel like I'm always the guy who does it like 3 or 4 times too early.
I usually I string it out a little bit to make sure everybody else is done because I usually start.
That's what I'm like MVP, and I look around like, oh, my bad, guys. I didn't know that we were done doing that.
Eric's the guy that starts the slow clap and nobody else follows along.
Yeah. No,
Eric's the guy starting to wave in the crowd and trying to see if everybody else.
I don't know if I'm pro wave or anti wave. Honestly, I feel like it's a situation.
The wave feels like an ASU thing, just from the way I've assessed
they're
the
all
crowd.
too drunk. They're all too drunk. I can't. Was that a negative thing? I know you're laughing because it's a negative thing.
I was saying because y'all are usually so high charged with energy. I imagine y'all would
stopped it high.
No, you got it, man.
Well, speaking of ASU,
I've been out here for a year. I'm still learning, man. Still learning.
Speaking of ASU, big game on Friday. ASU Arizona football, courtesy of Captain Morgan. You can come join us, the PHNX Sun Devils crew, out at Loco Patron for a live post-game show Friday, November 28th, out on Mill Avenue. About 30 minutes following that final whistle, me, Totri, and Shane are all going to be out there celebrating a Territorial Cup victory, and of course, we'll be partying with the captain himself, Captain Morgan. So looking forward to seeing all of our diehards and Sun Devil fans out there once again celebrating an ASU victory.
It's big. You said celebrating a victory. You're going to be celebrating the Wildcats win on the ASU postgame.
Oh, this is the guy
nice.
who can't decide which school he actually aligns with.
Football, I have always aligned with the Arizona Wildcats.
That's not true.
Thank
Anyway,
you very much.
I'm always aligned, Espo, with the sales we got going on this week.
Oh, I'm in full alignment. 90% off?
Woo!
Why would you not be in alignment when it comes to our Black Friday deals? Up to 90% off on our apparel, our headwear, everything you get there. But guess what? You don't have to wait till Friday if you're a member of our diehard group already. You're getting access right now, and you can go in there and you can start getting your stuff before it starts selling out because you know what's going to happen. So become a diehard today and start saving on your apparel.
We've got a prepaid super chat from Aiden, who's been a member for a month. Remember, if you are a member for a month, you get a prepaid super chat. It says, welcome to Phoenix, Gil. Also, wanted to ask Gil if he's a Suns fan or just knows ball and is slowly becoming a Suns fan. Welcome to the fam.
Well, I said this earlier. Like, I have like some very not random ties. Like, TJ Warren was a high school teammate of mine. So when he was drafted here, is when I really became like a fan. And then Chris Paul, obviously the Hornets connection during his time here, I was very, very, very invested. So like, I've got some seeds of Suns fanhood that have like kind of been in and out. So like, it's easy to pick it back up.
Here's the question, and this is for Freckled Mamba here. What were your thoughts on the sleeved gray jerseys that the Suns wore?
I wasn't a big fan of
Good.
those. I wasn't a big fan of those.
Good. You're looking at the only fan back there, the only guy who loves them more than anything.
I'm used to fighting this battle alone. I'll keep doing it alone.
I actually texted the equipment manager over there with the Suns today and was talking with him and said, I got a guy on staff that loves the gray sleeve jerseys. And he goes, the worst uniform we've ever had. So even from the inside, they're not big fans of it. So.
I call them the overcast jerseys, man. All this sun out here in Phoenix, and they want to come up with an all green jersey.
And last week when it was overcast, how much did everyone love the grayness that Phoenix was?
Hey, I was the schmuck that had to write the marketing stuff for that. It was supposed to represent a Phoenix rising from the ashes and was supposed to be representative of the first championship here, the Phoenix Giants jersey, the AAA champions. So. Yeah, that's all I got to try to make that better.
I learned something, though.
All I heard was ash, and that was what the jersey was supposed to be trying to replicate.
I mean, they had burned down the franchise at that point.
Yeah,
so.
Yes, Aiden, he did answer your question. Go back and watch that. Dagoon says, I like the gray sleeve jerseys more than I like Eric being right. I don't know how to take that, but I'm going to take it as a compliment. Thank you, Dagoon.
There's no way to take that as a compliment.
No, but maybe he really likes the gray jerseys. Maybe him and Ayrton are on the same page. Look, Dagoon. Don't get in your Charles bag, okay? Speaking of getting in your bag, Dillon Brooks has been in one all season. But before we get to him, just some quick news. on the Suns. They have assigned rookie center Khaman Maluach to the G League. The Valley Suns play the Rip City Remix tonight, the team that Khaman Maluach played when he was assigned a couple of weeks ago. Steven, the right move for the number 10 overall pick?
I mean, yes, 100%. How can you get better if you're not playing and getting game reps? You cannot replicate game reps at practice, nor can you do it in one-on-one drills. You have to go out there and build up that sweat equity. That's where a lot of confidence will come from. A+ decision, I think you tweeted it before we got on the show, Espo. A+ decision, get him all the game reps that you can.
Well, it's why you decide to have a G League team and house it in the same city that your big team is, because there are going to be opportunities to help develop guys. It's the whole point of it. This franchise has never really used it in that way, but that's the whole point of having a G League squad like that, is so you can send a guy like Khaman or Rasheer down there, get them those minutes, so you don't have to try to force them into games before they're ready. There's been a mindset that, you need to get him out on the court. And it's like, no, if he's not ready, you don't get him out on the court. You use the G League and get him that run. And I think this is the smart way to do it. And I hope they do it a little bit more over the next month. So you hope that those reps can turn into an opportunity with the big club.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many success stories throughout the league of guys getting sent down to the G to get that confidence, right? To understand, especially having like the alignment between the big squad and the there we go. There's my first one, naturally too.
You're a local
squad,
now.
the big squad and the G League squad, you're learning the same things. You're doing a lot of the same things in a bigger role. So when you get back to the big squad, you have that confidence. You know what it's like to play in high leverage moments, to play winning basketball. So I'm excited about that. I don't know where we stood on where he is right now. I know it's early in his career. I was really high on him. I saw him play in person last year when Duke played Wake. So I was really high on him then. I still am really high on him now. So I think this is big fun.
I think all of us in here were really thrilled when that pick happened and excited about like his long-term future. I know there are a lot of Suns fans now that are looking at like what Derek Queen is doing, or a lot of other really strong rookies from this class. Even Asa Newell out in Atlanta has been really good. And a lot of people are wanting some of that instant gratification with Khaman. And then we mentioned this on last night's postgame show, Espo, but a lot of the conversation in that 1-4 start was, well, if you're going to suck, you might as well just suck playing the rookies. Well, this team doesn't suck, right? They do, I believe, have a need for a solid backup center that can fill the type of roles that Khaman can fill. Obviously, they don't feel like he's ready, but I do want to see him play basketball. If you are able to tonight, tip-off is at 7 out for the Valley Suns games. Tickets are pretty cheap out at Mullet. Go check them out. I know Steven, I believe, is planning on going out there and catching a game.
If you pull up, find me and say hi. I'm not going to tell you where I'll be. We're going to play Where's Waldo.
Let's be honest.
We can play Where's Waldo, but come find me.
You're not going to call yourself a Waldo, are you?
I'm not going to be hard to find.
At Mullet, it ain't that hard to find people. So.
Also true.
Steven, you were in person when Rasheer and Khaman played down there, obviously just focusing on Khaman. What do you feel like you'd like to see from him his second time around, maybe a little bit sharper in his second game in the G League?
Yeah, I want to see him stay out of foul trouble. I think that's the first thing. If you're in foul trouble on the G League level, and that's no disrespect to the level of guys there, what do you think is going to happen on the NBA level? Those habits are going to be habits that triculate to the big league stage. So you want to be better with fouls, defend more without fouling. Some of that comes from his guards being better with containing the basketball so that he doesn't just have a melee of guys driving at him. But he can still be better walling up and being more vertical with some of the things that he's doing. And then on the offensive side, I want him to see him be more aggressive. It feels like he's playing to fit in a little bit because he hasn't had any practice time with those guys. So there's naturally some kind of catching up that you want to do, but you're down there to get your reps. And you are the best player on the court in those situations. So go and do what a best player on the court would do and allow for that confidence to build, and so you can start turning those corners in your development.
Yeah, he seemed a little tentative in that first game, and watching him.
I think some of it might be having someone that's bigger than him that he's matched up with. Jan Hansen was there for that one. I don't think he'll be there for today's game because he's been up with the actual Blazers team, so it's a little different now, but yeah.
Very fair. Well, by the way, I'm going to address your dad.
Yeah, I just texted him, and I told him they were working on it.
Out of my control. It's with the big parent company, and they're working on the new intro. I'm hoping next week, but
nobody has wanted the intro to change more than my dad. Look, we'll be keeping tabs on Khaman Maluach. Keep it tuned to PHNX Suns on Twitter at PHNX
Stat line
Suns.
prediction real quick.
Huh?
Stat line prediction real quick.
For Khaman, 50 and 25.
All right, man.
No, give me a solid like 19, 11, and 2 blocks.
Okay.
15 and 12.
Okay.
You can fill in what's what there. If you
15
want.
turnovers,
And
12 personal
blocks,
fouls.
12 blocks, yeah.
I'm going to go 20 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 assists.
Okay, I'll go 17 points, 8 boards, 3 blocks, and an assist.
Do we know, is Jamari Bouye playing, or is anybody aware of that?
heard
Because I think
anything
that would help
about him.
Khaman a lot.
Jamari will help him a ton for sure.
Okay.
They switched up how they're kind of doing things with their ball handlers since he last played. Bray's been off the ball a little more, so that should help him too, but we'll see.
Kobe Bray had been a bucket in the G League too,
That's
if
right.
you have not been watching. Look, we could talk G League hoops all day over here because we are the psychos and sickos, but at the end of the day, we need to talk about Dillon Brooks. Gil, did you see what we've seen out of Dillon Brooks coming this year? He's scored 20-plus points in 5 out of his last 6 games, has been the Suns' second-best offensive option when he's been out on the court. His post-game has been incredible. I know we'll get to some stats later, Steven, but just from a preseason expectation, Gil, how surprising is this run from him?
We've seen Oregon Dillon Brooks. Is what it feels like at some points. I'm thinking about like Coach K's gonna come down and talk to him and tell him he's too good to be flexing the way he's flexing right now. But seriously, I mean, the way he's stepping up is a reminder of how good NBA players are, right? Like it's about the role and what's asked for you, and you know, injuries and things that are outside of his control have required him to step up, and he's proven to be capable of it. I think his confidence, which maybe to a certain extent may be a little irrational, has helped him play at that level. But to get to this level, you have to have some level of irrational confidence, and it's been huge for this team. It's been a revelation for this team, and they are 11-7 because of it. And it's exciting to see, you know, especially when the team gets healthier, that he can kind of step back a little bit, but still have that confidence and still step up in spots because of what he's been doing, even reminding himself that he's capable of doing this. So I think it doesn't mean anything but good things for this team as the season goes on.
Yeah, irrational confidence is only a problem if you're not making shots. And
Sure.
he's been making them like crazy. That post-up move where he kind of fades away off of it has been almost unstoppable and been a thing of beauty from him. When he has a go-to move right now with that, and I think that's unlocked a lot of things offensively for him. Now, we talk about the roller coaster. You saw him start 1 for 6 last night. We saw him struggle a couple times in those early games as well, but he bounced back last night, and I think that he was trying to make a point early on, but kind of eased into his game and wound up playing really well offensively.
Yeah, the irrational confidence part is definitely what it is. Gil, are you a Cole fan?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I assume so. Charlotte, all of that. Yeah, he talked about you have to be delusional.
Yeah.
To get to any height of a profession. So music for him, obviously basketball for Dillon. There's a little bit that comes with that where there's going to be some misses, but you can't get to the makes part of that, which is where all the impact comes from if you don't have some of those misses flurried in. He might start a game 0 for 6 or something like he did last night, but you saw how he kind of helped to spark things for them down the stretch and to even navigate the middle quarters of that game. I think that's part of what you get when you have a player like that. Only way you're going to get the most out of that guy is if the head coach speaks life into him and that there's clear buy-in and then there's confidence that stems from that. And I think they're in a good space because of that. He's not hesitating to shoot because Jordan Knott doesn't want him to. They might have conversations about certain shots, but he's not going to tell them to just stop shooting outright because he knows that the team needs that.
Well, and that's the thing. We talk about the roller coaster, but realistically, if you look at the numbers now, a 12-game sample size for Dillon Brooks, he's playing 30 minutes per game. He's shooting 46% from the field on 17.5 attempts per game. From deep, he's shooting 33% on 8 attempts, and I still think that could tick up a little bit more like it had last season. He's been really consistent. Now, in a game, obviously, it felt like the Houston game was the first time that we saw him almost feel like he was forcing it to a point where he wasn't hitting shots for the first time since the Sacramento game, where over the stretch since then and the 10 games in between, it's been really consistent with Dillon, and not just the fact that he's hitting these shots, but it feels like he's always hitting them at the right time. Last night, Gil, Suns need an offensive spark. Dillon checks in for his second stint. The closest that they got it all game was when he just went and scored like 8 or 9 straight points just himself in a bunch of different ways. Pull up 3, mid-range post bucket, drive to the paint, finish off the glass with a little bit of jelly. He has diversified his offensive skill set, and he has found really great moments to give you the full Dillon Brooks experience.
Absolutely. And that specific stretch you're talking about, I remember during the watch along, you guys were like, this is danger time right here. This is the danger zone. Like the game could get away from the Suns right now. And that's a vet. That's a confident vet. That's a confident vet who's had their coach speak life into them. and believe that, look, I can keep going. I can continue to be me. At a certain extent, you got to let Dillon be Dillon. And that's exactly what they've been doing this year. And you take the good with, I don't want to call it bad. You take the good with just the not as good with him, because everything is needed. The attitude, the edge, all those other things that don't show up in the stat sheet are also parts of the experience too.
I would like to see him cut down on a few of the threes, because 33%, I mean, that's the territory we're talking about. Ryan Dunn had to shoot for a bad shooter, had to shoot for us to be marginally comfortable with him. I would love to see Dillon continue to be aggressive in the lane and maybe cut down a little bit on those threes if we're going to sit around 33%. But overall, I've been extremely happy with what he's done offensively, and it's been a pleasant surprise because it's a necessity, especially with Grayson out, Jalen Green out. You need him to be that guy, and you hope when those other guys come back, those shots drop a little bit, but the efficiency ticks up, and all of a sudden you have a really potent offense because of what he's been able to do.
So I worry less about the catching or about the general 3-point numbers for him being at 8, because for one, that's what the team philosophy is. He's one of the 4 best catch and shoot guys in particular. And I keep bringing up catch and shoot because 5.7 of those 8 attempts are from that variety. So that means someone else is setting the table for him. Those are decent shots. I understand for sure that you want sometimes for him to just put it on the deck and maybe continue to attack a closeout like Grayson and Royce have shown to do. But I think they just need someone that's taking those threes outside of just the Grayson and Royce and Devin dynamic right now, as well as Collins. So I definitely get that part, but I think he's kind of finding a balance a little bit, but also to kind of credit him a little bit, they haven't had anybody else that's been easily able to create their own shots as well. So having someone that's not going to be scared to take them definitely helps too.
Yeah, I'm excited to continue to watch him over the season and see how he develops. It's gotten to the point where every time he takes like a mid-range fadeaway, I'm expecting it to go in, which is a crazy thing to say about Dillon Brooks.
Do you remember the first game we did the watch along?
It was bad.
And we were like,
the Sacramento game?
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to see Dillon shooting 19 times. Like, I don't have as much of a problem as I did that first
I've got
night.
no problem.
I mean, I felt like we felt a little scared by the fact that we were seeing that. Now I'm like, I welcome him shooting.
You were
the
urging him to
basketball.
do it last night. You're like, get to the turnaround.
Please.
Get to the turnaround.
Hey, I mean, look, I might have had a parlay with Dillon Brooks points on it, but no, I
You'll
agree.
learn Eric's as selfish as he is a Suns fan.
But look,
well,
I think to that point, and to Espo's point about the hitting threes, it's like there was a point where he was like 1 of 5, 1 of 6, right? And he wasn't trying to get to that spot. And then, of course, he checks in, he hits a 3, and then that gets the confidence going. But because the mid-range has been so strong, I like him to lean into that. It's not just been the mid-range. It's been the ISO scoring. Stevens pulled some numbers that we're not allowed to see that we're going to get into here in a second. We're going to talk about how sustainable this is, and have we seen a defensive drop-off from Dillon Brooks? And at the end of the day, if he continues this, is all-star candidacy something that we could be talking about for Dillon Brooks by the time we get to February for the team and for him? We'll talk about that. Plus, we'll get to a hoop grid as well, because we're going to have some fun on Gil's first show. We're going to keep it rolling on the other side of our second break. Steven, you had some pretty good seats last night at the Suns game.
Crazy.
Maybe some of the best seats I've ever seen. And honestly, if you want to have some of the best seats you've ever had and not pay too much to get them, well, Game Time is absolutely the place for you to check them out. Not just for NBA games, but of course, all sporting events, plus live shows, concerts, music, comedy, whatever it is. Game Time has the tickets for it. And look, Gil, one thing you'll learn about me is I'm cheap, and I feel like everybody has to be nowadays in the modern economy. And the best part about Game Time is Game Time promises you the lowest price, or they'll credit you 110% of the difference. Now, my crazy ass has tried to hold them to it because I've tried to find lower price tickets, and I just couldn't do it because they already had the lowest prices. Plus, these Suns tickets are getting cheaper and cheaper, so take the guesswork out of buying Suns tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account, redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.
I'm going to pull back the curtain, and Gil, you'll learn this while you're back here in the office. Our air conditioning is jacked up. Our whole heat air conditioning system here has made no sense since we moved in to this building. And I really wish that I could have a programmable thermostat, a smart thermostat in here that could learn how to keep this place cool or not too cold like it was. It makes no sense. And you can get a thermostat, a smart thermostat through our friends at APS. Super easy to do. In this holiday season, you're going to have guests at your house. You're going to want it to be comfortable for them and for yourself. So why not get a smart thermostat through APS? And guess what? The best part, you can get it for as low as $0. Some of us call that free. So you're going to have to pay some shipping and taxes that aren't included, and other restrictions apply, but you got to check it out with APS. Do it today and get that smart thermostat.
Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, not just for us, not just for Gil, but for yourself, as the Phoenix Suns are 11-7. All of you hanging out with us on a Tuesday afternoon as we have a packed schedule this week. Tons of games to get to, NBA Cup games to get to, right into the grind. Gil, no rest for the weary.
Gil, does the NBA Cup matter to you?
A little bit.
There we go. That's the right answer.
No. You say it means everything.
It does mean everything.
I say, So Gil's right in the middle.
It absolutely means
and
everything.
Because we're only 3 years in. Like, you ask me again, like 3 years, we'll really
Okay.
be. Yeah,
Tell you what,
yeah.
it's going to mean a lot when the Suns win the damn thing this year.
That's what I was gonna say. It means a lot for me because some teams don't have championship aspirations, and this is one of your main ways to take a game that's not just regular season and try to build on something.
And it means a lot to the vet minimum guys.
It means a lot to
because they get
everybody.
that money.
Yeah.
I told you, if the league pays me, I'll care a lot more about it too.
You know what? That's a fair point, Espo. I want to get to the super chat from Chris. Thanks, Chris. Always in here dropping super chats. This one for $5. It's Steven, you're closest to the team. There is a minority owner out there who thinks that Booker has slid. Oh, probably a minority of the fan base who thinks that Booker has slid and we should move him. Thoughts? I'm frustrated.
No. He should not be moved. He is not slid. Just as recently as the week before this past one, he was averaging 30 points. He's averaging 26.7 now, 52% from 2, 33% from 3, 87% from the free throw line. I forgot how many assists he's averaging. He's one of the better playmakers in the league this season right now in terms of the gravity he's getting, the shot quality that he's creating for his teammates off of the attention that he's receiving. He's in a very good space. He had a bad week. That doesn't mean that he's slid. He just had a bad week. It happens to the best of them.
And I think there's multiple factors. I talked about it on Southwest Bias today, but I think people are overlooking how important that Grayson Allen has been for him, and how Grayson's been one of those guys that has been initiating offense and taking some of that off of Book's plate. Now he doesn't have him. He doesn't have Jalen Green like this offense was built for, and that takes a toll on it. Shane, the mustache behind the Mac, had a theory that maybe it's the Book 2s that he's getting used to because it started when he started putting those on, but I don't buy into that. I think it's a multitude of things, but he hasn't slept. I hate that. That was just like last year. He was top 10 in points and assists per game, and he fell off, according to people.
Look, we could talk about Devin Booker forever, and we will continue to talk about Book, especially if this slide or this slump continues for him. But, Steven, I can't wait anymore. I can't wait. I want to see the numbers that you wouldn't show us before the show.
Well, we can start with the ones that you could have went and seen for yourself. And
But it's so much more fun when you do it.
Couldn't you go see all of them by yourself if you do the research, right?
Technically. But just looking at Dillon Brooks at the kind of face level stat line for him, 22 points per game is a career high rate for him right now in terms of scoring. 56.6 from 2, 33.3% from 3, 86.1% from the free throw line, modern shooting splits. Very, very good. Very, very, very good when you consider he's taking 8 3-point attempts a game, and a lot of those are coming in the catch and shoot variety. He's knocking those down at a respectable level, 32.4%. You want him to be a little better on that. I think his quality of shot that he receives will be better when the team is closer to healthy and fully healthy. And then the last one for me, which is really holding up his percentages, 35.7% on pull-up threes. Yeah. Just over 2 a game that he's taking there.
Can you put that picture back up, Ayrton, real quick? The face he's making is because he got a whiff of that percentage on the catch and shoot. That needs to go up a little bit for me, but I understand your point.
Nah, that's the face he was making when Houston kept getting away with all that flopping last night.
That's true, too.
I never thought I'd see a Steven Adams flop like that. Dillon Brooks seemed very upset about that one yesterday.
Oh, he talked about it after the game. He said, "Hey, I will say Brooks also had a flop in his own right in that game."
He said, "Yeah, if everybody else doing it in games, I'm gonna try it too. Let me try it too, right? I can't be mad at him."
All right, Steven, those are the stats that I could go see, but please, Steven, I want to see these stats.
Yeah, so in isolation this season, 44 guys have 60 or more isolation context of play this season in terms of reps. He's number 4 in terms of points per chance in isolation. Wow. So he's better than guys like Devin Booker, guys like Ja Morant, other elite offensive isolation guys. He's operating in that space. Obviously, capacity-wise, he's not at that same volume as others, but the fact that he's in that group of names on the amount of attempts that he gets on his plate says a lot about his shot-making ability. To that point, the last 3 lines that we see at the bottom, the percentage from 3 to 5 dribbles, meaning that he's operating from 2-point range and scoring at that clip, very good. You look right below that, 7 or more dribbles.
That's insane to me.
I mean, 59.2% on the 3 to 6, and then it jumps up on the 7+ dribbles.
So with every he takes, his efficiency.
He should never stop dribbling.
But that's got to be the back down, right?
It is, and that's what I was going to get to, because he very much controls the tempo of play when he is in isolation. He's getting to his spot at his pace, and he's getting to the shot in the rhythm that he wants to get to it with. He's bigger than he seems on the screen when you're looking at it on TV versus in person. Against most of his matchups, he can kind of get enough space, especially after one bump fade, and he can create that space and get off a clean release. He's really good, and he's operating in a space that he really hasn't in a sustained manner over the course of his career so far.
Just for audio posterity, because we love our audio listeners, just to read off those percentages to you, because it might have gotten lost in the jumble. 59.2% from 2 on 3 to 6 dribbles, 63.6% from 2 on 7+ dribbles, and 73.7% from 2 with 7 seconds or less on the shot clock. What's the most impressive one to you, Gil?
Yeah, man, I think the dribbles. And as something that Steven said to me, that Steven said, just, if you go back and look at those pregame photos of him, I think Sunday night's game against the Spurs, you can kind of see it in those photos. So he imposes his will, that strength. You talked about getting to that turnaround. Obviously, it goes hand to hand a little bit. But the fact that that's not easy to do for anybody, for a guy who hasn't been asked to score for really the majority of his NBA, do it so effectively stands out to me for sure. And I think it kind of hints that it is sustainable, especially when the volume goes down.
Well, and I think that's the thing, right? Where obviously Dillon has been slotted, like everybody on this team, a couple rungs up in the pecking order. But I also do think when everybody does come back, the way that Dillon's been playing, he deserves to not have a big drop-off on touches or shot attempts. I think the overall question here is, how sustainable do we think these stats, either percentage-wise or actual points-wise, are for Dillon, not just through a month and a half stretch, but for the entire season? Do we feel like what we've seen from him is something that can be replicated, or is it just a hot streak?
I think it's less a hot streak and it's more, maybe not to the same volume, but I think the impact is where you'll still see and feel it. So you get back Grayson, that's someone that's taking shots, understandably so, has the ball in his hands more. You get back Jalen, the same thing happens. So Dillon is going to have to find his spots a little more in pockets, especially when it's not the proverbial starting 5 with Grayson's at the 3. In the one game that Jalen was healthy, if that's the starting 5 and one of those 2 guys or 2 of those guys is off the floor, now you can see Dillon be a little bit more aggressive, looking to find his shot. I think that last number we talked about, 73% with 7 seconds or less on the clock, action breaks down. The Suns are doing a lot of things that wear down on an opponent over the course of one possession. Now it's one-on-one and you got the space you want. The fact that he can go and get to his spots and turn his back to certain defenders because of who's holding that extra help, he can just do what he wants to comfortably. That stuff trickulates, and I feel like that's something that will be consistent for them, that late shot clock making.
And I think that if there's a guy that's going to be willing to adjust his game as guys come back, it's Dillon Brooks, a guy that really just seems like what Gil said earlier, willing to do whatever. It does not feel like it'll be impacted by not getting as many opportunities. It feels like he'll still be able to get to that back down, hit those threes when they find him open. And I like that he'll be able to continue to score. And it gives Ott a different option across the board in terms of scoring that maybe people didn't expect for him to have throughout the season.
Well, it's like a release valve, Gil, where you got Jalen Green as a release valve when fully healthy. Now Grayson Allen's been playing out of his mind. Devin Booker, of course. And now when you start alternating lineups, you got bench guys rotating in. You can have 2 offensive creators and release valves on the court at all times, all 48 minutes.
Absolutely. And I think the other side of you saying, he'll move down the totem pole, so to speak, when those guys come back, or some of those guys come back. In theory, it should be easier, right? Where like you have some other guys who are known for their scoring, relied on for more of their scoring. Other teams are going to put their best defenders on them. So Dillon Brooks, the volume might go down that he's doing this or whatever as far as how often he's doing it, but the level of defenders that he's facing should not be as strong as the guys he's facing now. So we could see the numbers go down, but we could see the efficiency go up as far as that goes.
Well, and I think that makes it exciting for the other guys too, because if Dillon can continue to play like this, well, you aren't going to be able to put as much attention on a Grayson Allen, Jalen Green, even Devin Booker. The spacing for this team, especially having somebody like maybe Jalen leans a little bit more into the three-point shooting than what we saw in Houston with some of the poor two-point shots that he was selecting. Maybe those are Dillon Brooks shots now. And now you've got Book and Brooks operating the mid-range, Jalen and Grayson Allen the three, and then you got your vertical spacer in Mark Williams. That is a pick your poison starting five that not a lot of teams really have. And I think the most impressive part for me is that you look at on the other end as well. I do not feel like Dillon Brooks' defense has fallen off so far this season from like an eye test impact standpoint, but also just being the guy that galvanizes that entire unit and makes sure that they all hustle hard, dive for loose balls, and stand strong against tough defensive matchups. Steven, it's rare you got a guy who's doing what we've seen him do statistically, percentage-wise, but also be the team's best defender on the other end as well.
Yeah. Do you know who's leading the Suns in steals per, or he's leading the Suns in deflections per game? Dillon Brooks, 3.4 a game. In tandem with that, 1.9 steals per game so far is his career high mark right now too. So he's on a trajectory to set a new mark there. This is someone that doesn't slouch on the defensive end, no matter how high the volume or usage is for him on the offensive end. If anything, his offense feeds off his defense. Goes to get a stop. Next time he touches the ball, he's in a rhythm like he just scored the possession before. And that's the guy that's cut from a very different cloth right there. So
I think the interesting thing, and I know it's early to think this way though too, is Dillon Brooks' offense may actually give you some flexibility if you're looking at trades too, because maybe it's a guy like a Royce that you go that becomes expendable to maybe fill that backup center role that looks like you need some help in. So there's a lot of different things that come with Dillon Brooks kind of evolving and pairing that defense you saw in Houston with some of that offense you saw in Memphis in his Oregon days that could really help this team in multiple ways.
Look, I'm excited to continue to watch him, like I said before, but I've got one final question to put a bow on this conversation. What does Dillon Brooks have to do to be an all-star consideration?
Well,
he's an international player.
That's what he benefits from, is this new setup in the All-Star game. There's going to be an international team. So I think he's going to have an opportunity because of that.
Gil, does it just come down to if the Suns are a top 5, maybe top 4 seed in the Western Conference come All-Star selection time, they need to have 2 All-Stars?
Ooh, need to have 2? I wouldn't say maybe needs a strong word, but I will say that winning is a big part of the equation for him getting consideration to make this all-star team. I mean, if this team is still in that top 6, top 5, and you look at it, it's like, why is that? And with all the injuries, he will have to have continued to play at this level for them to be there. So I think with that, it's a pretty compelling case.
Steven, what does your gut tell you?
If the Suns are in the play-in, they might get 2 All-Stars. And it's the element of surprise because so many people wrote them off. So many people said they'll be the worst defense in the league. Who's going to score outside of Devin Booker, yada, yada, yada. And look who's in the top 6 right now, basically at the first quarter mark of the season, the Phoenix Suns. Largely because of the things that Dillon Brooks has been able to sustain on the offensive side while allowing for his defensive impact and the leadership in particular to kind of really spearhead things for them.
Look, the way that he's been playing recently, he's averaging over 25 points per game. In his last 6 games, he's shooting over 50% from 2. If he ends up averaging 23, maybe 24 points per game by the All-Star break, which would mean he'd have to uptick from where he is now, and the defense stays where he is, which I think would put him in conversation for an all-defensive team selection this year, it's going to be hard to not have him at least in that consideration, especially because the international aspect, but even beyond that, averaging 23 points per game, being the best defender on a top 10 defense and top 10 offense at this point with the Suns, while they're surprising, the case writes itself at that point.
But what's the league's biggest problem with All-Star Weekend and why they're futzing around with everything and making these new formats? Guys don't try hard enough. There's not enough defense.
Oof.
I think that's part of the reason why he might get in, because he's going to play hard defense. He's going to get fired up. And like we've seen with the Suns, he's not going to let his teammates be lax at any point So I think that may push him over the top to get in an All-Star game too, with the stats being there.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a conversation, which again, if we were talking about the Suns being 11-7 and Dillon Brooks being somebody that we can realistically talk about as being in a conversation for being an all-star before Thanksgiving even hit, I'd say the season was going pretty well. This show, I think, is going very swimmingly, but we're going to do something super fun on the other side of this break. We're going to do the first on-air hoop grid with Gil plus Psycho Blue. We'll get to your super chat, and we'll round things out here on a very fun new era edition of PHNX Suns. We'll keep it rolling on the other side of our final break. Listen, Gil, one of the things we're going to need you to get you up to speed on is we're going to have to get you some Suns gear, okay? Some local sports gear, and I got just the place. It's Rally House. Rally House is the go-to shop for all your favorite local Arizona teams, including the Suns. They've got some Sun stuff that I had never seen anywhere else before, and for a guy like me that is obsessed with finding pieces of clothing, hats, everything like that, Rally House is like Mecca for me. I love it. They've got the in-person locations in Tempe, Mesa, and Glendale. I'm fond of the Tempe location for a variety of reasons. It was the first one I ever walked into. And of course, they have a ton of Arizona State gear as well. But it's not just hats. It's jerseys, drinkware, signage, coolers, socks, even sunscreen. They have just about everything at Rally House. You can also shop online with hundreds of pages of options, making it very convenient for you. So find your local Rally House location, shop their entire product assortment online at www.rallyhouse.com today.
Stephen, you were at the in-house event last week for our partners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have one of those margaritas that Noah was making?
Of course.
He's a little heavy-handed on the pouring, but you know why I was all right with it? Because it was our friends at Three Amigos that had all of our needs, our hard alcohol needs there last week. And around here, we cheer hard, we celebrate harder, and we always keep it local. And that's why Three Amigos Tequila is a staple for us here at PHNX. In fact, we still have it sitting on the counter out there because we never put it away after that event. It's family owned right here in the Valley, which you know we love rep in the Valley here. It was founded in 1939. So, this was like Eric's great-great-great-great-great-grandmother that would have been involved with this. Crafted in Mexico with 100% blue Weber agave. It's award-winning for a reason. It's smooth, bold, and made for moments that matter. So this season, tailgate, toast, and celebrate with the Valley's favorite tequila, Three Amigos.
We love Three Amigos. We love all of you here in chat, hanging out with us, helping us introduce Gil. Obviously, he'll be on all of our shows going forward. So his first pregame and postgame show tomorrow. Make sure you go and check that out as we take on the red-hot Sacramento Kings. What?
Sabonis list.
Sacramento Kings. Don't worry. They've got Russell Westbrook and Keegan Murray's back. Let's get to a Psycho Blue super chat here real quick before we jump into a hoop grid. This is one of the super chats that you'll have to get used to the style here. But Psycho Blue, one of our diehards, $10, says, Basketball Cthulhu welcomes the new apostle to the cursed son of the Phoenix. With rage we rise, we despair, the old basketball gods scream, or sue. That seems popular in Suns land these days. That is your official introduction to Psycho Blue.
I didn't realize Basketball Cthulhu was a minority owner in the franchise.
Yeah, Basketball Cthulhu is suing. Breaking news. Look, we have had a lot of fun today. We've gotten to know Gil. We've talked about Dillon Brooks being automatic just on offense in general.
Oh.
Automatic.
I like that.
Speaking of Dillon
coming
Brooks.
to you soon. Yep.
Speaking of much better than Big Willie style. Speaking of Dillon Brooks, I believe, Ayrton, he is one of the topics of our hoop grid today. Is he not?
That would be correct. As you can see here, I love to do my themes when it comes to these hoop grids. So our theme today is the Dillon Brooks trade. There is a chance that we've already done this one before, but
No, I don't think
there's so many people in the league that we can make it happen. So on the top, we have 25-plus point per game scorer in the regular season. Next, we have 2+ assists per game for a season, a player for the Houston Rockets, and then on the way down, we have a player for the Phoenix Suns, a teammate of Dillon Brooks, and a teammate of Kevin Durant.
All right, so let's attack this row by row. So let's start with that top row first square here. A Phoenix Sun that just scored a singular 25-plus point game in the regular season. Gil, We try to get unicorns, diamonds around
course.
here. None of this gold, silver
to.
crap.
Alec Peters has got to be it, right?
I think that's a good call, but there's something so absurd about that I feel like people might remember it, but we can always change it. Let's
I
try
highly
Alec
doubt
Peters.
people remember Alec Peters.
Maybe that's just me, man. That's just my go. There we go. We like that. That's a galaxy there.
There you go.
All right. Any Suns line, we have very high standards. Suns with 2+ assists per game in a season. We can get real nasty with this, I feel like. Suns that have averaged 2 assists per game in a season. Anybody pop to mind, Steven, Gil?
I thought Jamal Crawford.
Okay. I don't hate Jamal Crawford.
Do you guys think Isaiah Cannon had more than 2 assists?
How about is this
in a season?
Per game in a
Yes.
season. Ricky Roby?
Not Ricky Rubio.
No.
Ricky Roby is a good pull.
I believe it's Robey. Yeah.
Rick Roby. That's a
Oh, there it
unicorn.
is.
And then a Phoenix Sun and a Houston Rocket. Maybe your guy Trevor Ariza.
I was going to
That
say
was
TA.
Trevor Ariza was one.
Mark Bryant as well.
Mark
as part
Bryant?
of that,
I think
Barkley
Ariza's
trade.
probably going to be high. Yeah, Ariza's a silver. Yeah, I think Mark
Oliver
Bryant.
Miller came to mind.
Mario.
Ooh, Oliver
Ellie,
Miller?
Oliver Miller. Yeah.
Mhm.
R.I.P. Oliver Miller. Ooh, let's see what Oliver Miller is and choose between those two. Oh, did he not play for the
I
Rockets?
thought he played for the Rockets.
Yeah, he played for the Kings. He played for the Raptors. He played for the Suns.
Maybe I'm just confusing that Raptors pinstripe with the Rockets
Yeah,
pinstripes. That's what
I
it is, I
was
guess.
going to throw Gerald Green in there.
Gerald Green.
I think Gerald Green will be pretty high.
Think so?
Yeah, Mark Bryant's probably
Bryant.
the best one that we have so far.
You think Mario
Aaron
Ellie-
Holiday?
You think Mario Ellie?
Yeah, Aaron Holiday.
I think Mario Ellie would be
Yeah.
higher than Mark Bryant.
Aaron Brooks.
Aaron Brooks
Aaron
or
Brooks.
Aaron Holiday, I think there's
Yeah.
a chance they're lower than Mark Bryant, but also I don't think a lot of people think about Mark Bryant as a player. Yeah, see, that's a gold for Aaron Brooks.
Yeah, I think it's Mark
Mark
Bryant.
Bryant.
Aaron Holiday probably. Who's lower? There we go. Okay. That's the first row. We've got Alec Peters talk, which is awesome. I love Alec Peters talk. Ricky Roby and Mark Bryant, or Rick Roby. We've had Ricky Rubio and Rick Roby on the same franchise. All right, let's go to Dillon Brooks teammates. A Dillon Brooks teammate that has scored over 25 points in a regular season game. So obviously Memphis or Houston. I think those Memphis days early probably our best shot at getting somebody
Was
lower
Chandler?
end.
Chandler Parsons wasn't still on their roster.
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
He was
Wesley
doing really
Matthews?
crappy basketball
Nah,
now.
It's funny because my
no
first
way.
question was thinking, what's Yuta Watanabe's career high? And I can't remember if it's
Hey.
25 or more. I don't know. But
I mean,
Let's see if we can throw
let's
it in
try.
there.
Let's try
I,
Yuta.
I don't know if I don't know. But it.
Oh,
Boom.
bang!
There you go, Yuta.
All right.
Yuta, dude,
Mhm.
Good
that's
pull.
a Suns legend right there.
Yeah.
Nice little pull there from Gil. All right, same question as before. 2+ assists per game for a season. Also a Dillon Brooks teammate. 2 assists per game. Again, I'm trying to think back to those Grizzlies. I mean, Grayson Allen, because they were teammates in Memphis too,
Multiple
weren't
times,
they?
Yeah.
Yeah. A gold, so that's not acceptable. My apologies. Oh, I gotta hide the
You're
chat.
fired.
I'm not even looking.
Who else would have been on those Memphis
Early
teams?
Memphis teams. Tyus Jones.
That's gonna be too easy.
Yeah, because he was together with
Yeah.
them.
I'm trying to think like
last
somebody
Another
who like
goal.
was like at the tail end of their career.
Mhm.
who
Yeah.
had good.
It's got to be like
Mhm.
random.
2 assists per game.
It's Marc Gasol.
I was gonna say.
That one would be a little easier though.
But maybe not because of the assists.
Yeah, it's
Still,
a
okay, so
goal.
we're gold for gold for
Yeah.
gold.
known for his playmaking.
Was he?
He was gone.
was
I think he was
gone.
gone.
I don't think
Yeah.
Zebo was there still. Yeah.
We all know Tony Allen just chewed the basketball. He didn't pass it. I mean, so it's John, Jaren Jackson, Dillon Brooks. Who was off the
DeMar
bench for the team?
DeRozan.
No.
Tyus was there off the bench.
Ty-
Who else was off the bench for them?
Man, these Grizzlies teams are.
I mean, we can also think Rockets too. Jay Sean. We could try Jay Sean Tate.
I don't think he got the 2 assists though.
Oh!
There we go. I
Get
stand corrected.
stuffed, Steven.
I stand corrected.
There you go. Okay, final.
That's disgusting.
Final one.
You keep that to yourself. Ew.
Dillon Brooks, teammate that also played for the Houston Rockets.
Man.
Now, they did have to play on the Rockets at the same time.
This is one that we should get fun with because it doesn't have to be a Dillon Brooks Rockets teammate. It can be anyone he ever played with that has also played
also
with
on the Rockets.
Yeah.
It's just those Grizzlies teams are tight.
I know.
The top were so. You know?
They were also a little younger too.
Right.
Yeah, there were a lot of internal guys.
Yeah.
Jock Landale. You think my boy is low because most people don't know him?
Jeff
Okay, he's
Green.
a gold.
Wow.
Don't throw Jeff Green in there.
Another gold. It's like any current Houston Rocket. What
Yeah.
about like that first season in Houston when they were dog crap?
Oh. There's got to be some like 10-day contract. Something
Yeah.
that weird.
Did JaMychal Green ever play for the Rockets?
He did. I don't know if he
I don't
was
know
there
that-
when.
Was he?
We
was
could
he-
try.
Was he in Memphis?
We could try him.
Was he
He
in Memphis
also
with
might have
Dillon
been in
Brooks?
Memphis, yeah.
Yeah, was he in Memphis with Dillon Brooks? Is my second question.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot
That
of
might
green.
be a good one.
JaMychal Green.
Was not. I guess he wasn't.
No.
He wasn't. They just missed each other then.
Okay.
Hmm.
That first year, man, a couple years ago,
Right.
when the Rockets were bad.
Was Valanciunas
Ty Washington?
in Memphis when Dillon was?
Valanciunas, he didn't play for the Rockets. He hasn't played for the Rockets.
Oh,
What about Ty? What?
Mm.
Huh.
Didn't they draft him when he was there?
There's somebody that there's an answer here, and it's just not.
Yeah.
There's
it's
a
gotta be
wing.
obvious.
There's a wing I'm thinking about.
It's
I think I have a
Bobby.
good
my
safety
mind.
valve from the chat if we need it.
No, we can't do that. We got to be chatless.
Man.
Let's come back to it. Let's come
Go
back to it.
I'll go back to that.
Kevin Durant teammate, 25 plus point game in the regular season. Royce O'Neal,
Wally Serbiak.
Wally Zerbiak, yeah.
I was going to go with Ish Smith.
Yeah, that's
Woo!
well.
Wally's
Zerbiak's a great.
Yeah, I
pull.
think Wally might
That's
be.
a,
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
a great
great,
pull, for sure.
pull.
Yeah.
Shout out Wally.
Okay, 2+ assists per game season. Also a Kevin Durant teammate.
Think about those. Yeah, those
That
Seattle
could be
teams.
Ish Smith, right? But at the same time, a lot of
As
people
a,
probably said that. Yeah, it's probably easy.
Try Joe Harris. I don't know if Joe got
I don't know
the
if
2
he
assists.
he just
might
shooting.
have.
I don't know if he got
Oh,
the
we
2
got like
assists.
a lot of
Okay.
people.
He's a gold. Big
Great,
Joe Harris
great
fans.
headshot too.
Yeah, for sure.
You could try Royce. Try Royce O'Neal. Bang.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so
Okay.
we have to go back to
To the Rock.
to the Rockets one before we fill out the final square here. Dillon Brooks teammate, Rockets. That's on the low end of
I'm
things.
just trying to think back. Dillon Brooks, like first couple of years in Memphis, like 'cause he was. I feel like he was like the transition.
That also
from-
played on the Rockets.
He was in the.
though.
He was in the transition from like the grit and grind
Yeah,
to whatever.
yeah.
So some of those guys who were leaving,
Mhm.
any of them hit
Yeah.
Houston on the way out, and I just
Yep.
can't remember like who was on that team.
Yeah.
Who was the backup point for Mike Conley? That's what I'm trying to think back on right now.
Like he had a lot of them too.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
got to
for
be a
sure.
stinky big that played in Houston when Brooks was there early. Before Şengün really took over. There's got to
I
be.
don't think he was there with Isaiah Hartenstein, but we can throw his name in there.
That might have been the last
I
year
don't think. I
crossover.
think Zay was already gone by the time
No.
Dillon got to Houston. Yeah.
Man,
What do you think about Josh Okogie? Oh, well, I guess they didn't cross paths.
No, they didn't
technically.
cross
Yeah.
paths. Man. How is this the one that
the one that
stumps
gets
us?
stuck.
Yeah. Well, my knowledge of Memphis during Dillon's time isn't real high. I'm going to be honest.
Oh,
With
man.
that got to be some friggin' 10-day contract.
I
We're
know,
not
that's what-
thinking about
again,
with the
like-
Rockets over the last
Mhm.
year or two.
Oh my God. Think about like their draft picks that haven't panned out.
Yeah, they did. But there was like a weird time where they had like a bunch of random 10-day guys. Like when they had Lance Stevenson never played at Houston, but somebody like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Who's the safety from the chat?
I saw Kevin Porter Jr. And
Let's
I was
try it.
thinking about KPJ.
We can try it.
Yeah.
They didn't play
He
together.
was gone already. Yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
Hmm.
Josh Christopher, great poll. No, what?
Wow.
How was Dillon only there for 2 years?
It was Houston?
Yeah, so that's just,
Nah, it was 3, I think.
I swear Josh Christopher was on the roster 3 years ago. I'm not that old. What is wrong with us?
Oh
this
my
one-
gosh,
this one-
we're broken.
yeah, wow.
There's a shooter that I'm thinking about. whose
White
name
guy?
is Not. I think so.
Oh my
just
God, I
don't
know.
Mm.
Bro, didn't he play in Atlanta too?
Yeah. What's his name?
Start with an M?
No.
No, not Mike Miller.
Definitely not.
No, he's
not
a
Mike.
small guard
I'm telling you
shooter.
Chandler Parsons.
Garrison Matthews.
Garrison Matthews?
Garrison Matthews, that's what it was. Please. No!
Oh, wow.
Can we
they
try
did not-
Chandler
Try
Parsons?
Chandler
Wow.
Parsons. A gold.
A
There he
gold.
is.
Fuck.
That's tough.
Dude, we can't get lower than a gold on this. Anything in the
tough.
chat? We've never been stumped like this before.
That's crazy.
Eric Gordon.
I thought about EG, but I thought he would be too obvious.
Did he? They
They
didn't
weren't
play
together
together.
either.
They didn't play together. Gordon was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Reggie Bullock.
Mm.
That's a done.
Oh,
Who got that in the
nice.
chat? Is that you, Ayrton? Or
Shout out
is
to
that
Aiden.
Aiden? Of
Okay,
course it's
Reggie.
Aiden. All right,
Reggie
last
Long
one.
Island.
This is do or die.
Reggie
The
wasn't
grid-
playing, that's why.
The grid fills out when we're done with this. We have one shot.
Ooh.
A Kevin Durant teammate that has also played for the Houston Rockets. Now, KD has had a lot more teammates in his career.
Yeah.
Who could it be? Obviously, Russ played for the Rockets. Steven Adams played for the Rockets. Anybody from the Sonics?
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I'm
I was
thinking
trying to
back.
think.
Who was on that Sonics roster?
I mean,
Luke Rittenauer, but he did not play
Earl
for the
Watson
Rockets,
ever
though.
play for the Rockets?
I don't think so.
I remember Earl Watson with the Rockets.
are we sure Rittenauer played for the Rockets?
Kevin Martin got traded.
Are we sure Rittenauer didn't play for the Rockets?
I don't think he did.
I don't
Can we try? I mean, if we get it
We can
wrong,
try
we
it.
get it
We
wrong.
can try it.
That's a name that I'm willing to take the risk on. There's only 40 options for this.
Oh.
No, he didn't.
That played for the Rockets.
There's somebody screaming at us right now.
Well, think about time in Brooklyn too. Is there anybody
Yeah.
obscure that was there?
Mhm.
Another one who
Golden
people
State.
probably would say a lot is DeMarcus Cousins.
I don't hate
Yeah.
Boogie.
That's like people probably just forget about that, but
I think that's not where my mind was going.
I'd try Cousins because
It's a big name, but
it's a big name. I was gonna say DeMarcus Cousins and JaMychal Green were the two names. It's a JaMychal Green shot.
I think JaMychal Green might be a better shout than
than Boogie
but did they
do people remember
Played
Boogie played in Golden State?
or Houston.
Or
Either
Houston,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, yeah, I think I would try JaMychal
We could
over
try it.
Boogie. Yeah, I don't think they played
Hey,
together
I
though.
thought they were in Brooklyn together. I guess not.
Oh, are we gonna go with DeMarcus Cousins?
No, we gotta do better than
We gotta
that.
do better than that. We gotta do better than that.
Yeah, somebody is screaming.
Quinn Cook never played for the Rockets, did he?
Mm,
I feel like he bounced around. Like
No,
had a
he
good
was
spot.
Lakers.
played
He
for
went
the
to the Lakers.
Lakers.
Yeah.
I also was with the Cavs for like a
Yeah.
split second. But I don't know if he ever with the Rockets.
I,
Yeah.
think I don't think he was ever with the
I don't
Rockets.
think he
He's
was
one of
there.
those guys that signed with a bunch of different teams.
I say if he
Ish-
told me he played for anybody.
Has he ever played with Ish Smith?
I don't think Ish ever played for
Okay.
the Rockets though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Ish
Ish
did play
played
for
for the
the-
Rockets.
But did he play with KD?
I don't
In
know.
OKC, I think. He also played everywhere. They were
Yeah.
together. They were together in
He
OKC.
played-
the
they
thing
played
with
in-
the
they
thing
played
was
in
the thing
OKC.
with Ish is that a lot of people just guess him
because
for a lot of
so
things
many
because he's been
places.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Go Deeks, by the way.
Man, we were supposed to start our meeting 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's okay.
They understand. They
It's important.
understand.
Yeah, this is the most important thing I've ever done.
Can Aiden come and save us again?
I prefer not, but he can. Yeah.
JD Davidson.
That's a pull.
I mean, that's his teammate
He just
currently.
play, he's playing now.
He's getting minutes for them.
Yes.
Maybe we keep that in the back pocket. I don't think he's a diamond because he's currently on the team.
Eric Gordon would be a little too obvious, I think. Because they play here. They play
Jock?
Landale.
I don't know if people remember that
Yeah.
he played with KD on the Suns.
Yeah,
Sorry, man. My bad, dude.
Josh Okogie.
I mean, he's currently on the
That's too easy,
team.
though. I'm just
Anybody
throwing
currently
names
on the
out
team,
there.
I feel like we got to stay away from.
Yeah.
Oh man,
there's got to be something from that Seattle team.
that's
that
why
we're
I was
not-
going through that
We're
roster,
not thinking of.
or like the early OKC
Yeah.
years. Somebody like Eric Maynard, but not him, but somebody like that.
KD never played with PJ Tucker, right? I know they went to college together. At
Did
Texas.
I don't think
No.
so.
I don't think they've played on the same.
No, they
team
played
before,
against each
though.
other
Yeah,
in
they
the
didn't
playoffs.
play at
Yeah.
Texas together either. PJ helped recruit him, but they didn't
Gotcha.
play together in Texas either.
Anybody on Brooklyn?
Mm.
This is the most frustrating hoop grid we've ever done.
You would think that somebody that played with KD would be an easy pull on this, and this
Yeah.
is.
I mean,
not
you got
easy.
like 17 years of names,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you'd think one would be like, oh yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
The fact that it's 17 years and there's only 40 guys.
40
that
guys,
fit
and we
this,
named like 10 of them already. They're
Yeah.
just not obscure
That
enough.
part is killing me right now.
This is funny as hell, man. No way we thought this was going to take this long.
He never played with Corey Brewer, did he?
Mm.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think they ever played together. Yeah.
Did Naz Muhammad ever play in Houston?
I don't think so.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he played.
It's another guy. If he
with
told me he did, I would believe it. If he told me he didn't, I also would believe it.
Yeah, that's a dude right there. That
That's
was
a dude for sure.
straight bucket getter.
It's so funny because like out of the 40, it's like Russell Westbrook, James Harden, like the
Yeah.
Chris Paul.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think?
He never played with Gerald.
I mean, should we
Green.
just do DeMarcus Cousins?
That feels lazy to me.
I do not think people remember that DeMarcus Cousins was on that Golden
It's
State
a
team.
risk for sure. I think if this wasn't the last square, I would be more comfortable risking DeMarcus. But
I think since we're 13 minutes past,
I think we
where
just
we're
go
supposed to
DeMarcus
to our meeting,
Cousins.
we just go deep.
Boogie.
Oh,
man.
That's a low goal. That's a low goal.
Was there?
Ooh.
Let's
was
try
there
JD. Let's
anybody
throw
in the
JD
chat?
Davidson in there and see if that would have been better for us.
Oh, wow.
Aiden.
Wow.
We're sorry, Aiden.
NBA champion JD
Yeah,
Davis.
Wow.
We're sorry.
Wow.
We're sorry, JD Davidson. Well, that's gonna do it for the first ever
That's
edition of Gil's
crazy.
Arena. Sorry, PHNX Suns
You
here
failed
on
us, Gil.
PHNX
I'm
Sports.
sorry.
Ty Washington Jr. was not an option there. Wow. Shout out to Aiden. Big shout out to all of you hanging out with us on a Tuesday afternoon. We will be back tomorrow. We got sporting news in the
Oh,
chat
sporting
saying
news.
congrats, Gil. So proud of
Gil
you.
still has access. He just hopped in there.
That's what I was
Gil's
doing.
like, Gil, you are so handsome and so amazing and so perfect. And look, Aiden, we get it. You're the GOAT. We got you, brother. Look, we are super excited to welcome Gil to the crew and really excited that we can hit the ground running with our game coverage tomorrow, pregame and postgame show. For Suns King, it's the NBA Cup game, which according to Gil, it means everything in the world. So we're really excited to get into that. You can follow the show in the meantime at PHNX_Suns. Of course, you can follow the Freckled Mamba behind the Mac at Freckled Mamba. You can follow Steven at StevenPG3. That's Steven with a PH. Of course, he's at every Suns practice, shoot around, home game. Plus, he'll be going to the Valley Suns game tonight. Absolute must follow. For Suns fans, you can follow Espo at Espo. And of course, you got to show Gil some love. You can follow Gil at Gil McGregor _. Give him some love out there on socials. Welcome him to the PHNX family. You can follow me at ERIKRUBY. All right, Gil, you got this. It's just you. Solo show tomorrow, and then we'll check in with you in like a week or two.
Ready to run ISO. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Bye, guys.
Oh,
We all silly like the mayor.